All right, let's talk about people. We're all so different, aren't we? It's fantastic. Some of us love a quiet night with a good book, and some of us would rather be the book everyone is talking about at a giant party. We call those people extroverts. Extroversion is just a fancy word for folks who get their energy from being around others. They're often seen as outgoing, chatty, and the first ones to hit the dance floor. You know the type. They make a trip to the grocery store feel like a social event, and they've probably never met a stranger they didn't like. They're the human equivalent of a golden retriever, and I mean that in the best way possible. So why do we even study these social butterflies? It's not just because they're fun to watch, although they definitely are. Scientists and researchers are really curious about what makes people tick. By understanding extroverts, we get a better picture of the amazing variety of human personalities. It helps us figure out why some people thrive in big groups, while others need quiet time to recharge their batteries. Learning about extroversion isn't about saying one personality type is better than another. It's about celebrating our differences and learning how we can all get along a little bit better, which is something we could all use a little more of, right? Think about it like this. If you're building a team for a project, wouldn't you want to know who loves brainstorming in a group and who prefers to think things through on their own? Understanding extroverts helps us in so many ways, from making our workplaces more efficient to helping us be better friends. When we know that our extroverted friend needs to talk things out to feel better, we can be there for them. It's all about connection. And learning about personality is like getting a user manual for the people in our lives. It's a way to appreciate what makes each person uniquely, wonderfully them. Studying extroversion also helps us understand ourselves. Maybe you've always felt a little out of place because you love big gatherings, or maybe you've wondered why you feel so drained after spending a day alone. Learning about these personality traits can be like a light bulb going on. It gives you permission to be exactly who you are. So whether you're the person leading the conga line or the one happily watching from the sidelines, knowing about extroversion gives us all a little more insight into the fantastic, complicated and hilarious thing we call human nature. It's a journey of discovery, and who doesn't love a good discovery? So, you want to study extroverts? That's great. It's easier than you think, and you don't need a lab coat or a clipboard unless you want one. I won't judge. One of the simplest ways to start is by just observing. Go to a place where people gather, a coffee shop, a park, a party. Look for the person who is moving from group to group, introducing people and laughing the loudest. That's probably your extrovert in their natural habitat. Watch how they interact with others. Do they use big hand gestures? Do they make eye contact with everyone? Observing is like being a detective, but for fun social stuff instead of crimes. Another super easy way to learn is by reading. There are so many amazing books and articles out there about personality. You can find stories from extroverts themselves, sharing what it's like to be them. Reading these accounts is like getting a backstage pass into their minds. It can help you understand that their need for social interaction isn't just for show, it's how they fuel their spirit. Plus, you can do it from the comfort of your own couch, which is a big win for my introvert friends out there. It's a great way to gather information without having to actually talk to anyone just yet. Of course, the most direct way to learn about extroverts is to simply talk to them. And trust me, they will probably love it. Most extroverts are open books and enjoy sharing their experiences. You could start a conversation with a friendly, "You seem like you really enjoy being around people. What do you love about it?" This opens the door for them to talk about something they're passionate about. Connecting with others. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn from a simple, genuine conversation. It's a fantastic way to get first-hand information and maybe even make a new friend in the process. When you're talking with an extrovert, pay attention to their energy. You might notice that they get more animated and excited as the conversation goes on. This is their energy source in action. Ask them how they feel after a big social event. Do they feel tired or energized? Ask them what they do when they're feeling down. Do they call a friend or prefer to be alone? These questions help you see the world from their perspective. It's all about being curious and listening with an open heart. You're not just collecting data, you're connecting with another human being. When the professionals want to get really serious about studying extroverts, they pull out some special tools. One of the most famous tools is the personality test. You've probably seen these online, right? Quizzes that tell you what kind of pizza you are, or which celebrity is your soulmate. Well, scientific personality tests are a bit more, scientific tests like the Myers-Briggs type indicator or the Big Five inventory ask a series of questions to map out different parts of a person's personality, including their level of extroversion. It's like a blueprint of who they are, which is pretty cool. These tests are great because they give researchers a standardized way to measure things. Instead of just saying, oh, that person seems pretty outgoing, they can get a score that shows exactly how extroverted someone is compared to thousands of other people. The questions are usually things like, do you prefer a large party or a small gathering, or are you usually the one to start a conversation with a stranger? By answering a bunch of these, a pattern emerges, and it gives a really detailed picture of someone's social style. It's less about judging and more about understanding the beautiful complexity of people. Another important tool is the structured interview. This is a bit different from just having a casual chat. In a structured interview, researchers have a list of specific questions they ask everyone they study. This ensures that they are gathering the same type of information from each person, which makes it easier to compare the results. They might ask questions like, describe a time you felt most energized, or how do you typically handle conflict in a group setting? These questions are designed to get people to talk about their behaviors and feelings in specific situations, giving researchers a ton of rich, detailed information. And here's a really interesting part. Researchers often compare extroverts to introverts. This is so important. It's like trying to understand what hot means without ever feeling cold. By studying both ends of the spectrum, we can see the differences and similarities more clearly. For instance, they might look at brain scans and see that extroverts and introverts have different reactions to social stimuli. This comparison helps us appreciate that both personality types are normal and have their own unique strengths. It highlights that the world needs both the people who shout from the rooftops and the people who thoughtfully listen from the ground. So, we've talked about what extroversion is and how to study it, but why does it all matter? It matters a whole lot, actually. When we take the time to understand extroverts, and introverts for that matter, we build bridges. In our daily lives, this knowledge can make our relationships so much stronger. If you know your partner is an extrovert, you'll understand that their idea of a relaxing Friday night might be going out with friends, and that's how they de-stress. It helps us stop judging each other's needs and start supporting them instead. It's about empathy, which is the secret ingredient to any good relationship. This understanding is also a game changer in the workplace. Imagine a team where the manager knows who thrives in collaborative brainstorming sessions and who does their best work with quiet, focused time. That manager can set everyone up for success. When we appreciate that our extroverted colleagues get their best ideas by talking them out, we can create spaces for that to happen. This leads to happier employees, better teamwork, and more creative solutions. It's not about putting people in boxes, it's about giving them the right environment to shine. Everyone wins when people feel understood and valued for who they are. Studying extroversion also helps us build more inclusive communities. When we recognize that different people connect in different ways, we can create events and social spaces that appeal to everyone. Maybe a community event could have a lively, active area for the extroverts and a quieter, more relaxed zone for the introverts. It's about creating a world where everyone feels like they belong, no matter where they fall on the personality spectrum. It encourages us to be more flexible and considerate, and to celebrate the diversity that makes our world so vibrant and interesting. It makes the world a kinder, more welcoming place for us all. Ultimately, learning about extroverts is part of a bigger journey of learning about humanity. It reminds us that there's no single right way to be. Whether you're recharging your batteries by being the center of attention or by enjoying a peaceful moment alone, your way is valid. This knowledge empowers us to communicate better, work together more effectively, and be more compassionate friends, family members, and colleagues, and that's a beautiful thing. So let's keep being curious, keep learning, and keep dancing. Whether it's in a crowd or just in your living room, be kind to one another